let's talk homeschool. First, I'll show you a little bit of our setup, kind of talk about the curriculums we use, and then when we get back to work.
It is on it.
Is it on it?
No.
Okay. Oh, this one.
It's up. It's up.
Nice. Good job, bud.
Where are you going?
How's it going in here today, everyone?
Great.
What are y'all working on right now?
Where am I? Okay. Next.
My scripture workbook? Oh yeah, what do you copy the verse?
And then we have to memorize it and tell it to mommy.
You already know it?
Most of it, cause over here, I had a book that I read to Ed, and it had like these Bible verses in it, and this is one of them.
So I just shared ABC Mouse with everyone,
Oh, yeah.
and I thought that maybe you would want to share some of the homeschool stuff we're doing.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we've done it too. Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk homeschool. First, I'll show you a little bit of our setup, kind of talk about the curriculums we use, and then when we get back to work. But this table we have is actually 3 tables. They're from IKEA. They were super cheap, so I just bought 3 and put them together instead of trying to find one really big table, because really big tables are expensive. Same thing with the chair. We got the chairs from IKEA, so we have 8 chairs total, so John and I can work up here while they're doing things. We usually just let the little 2 like play. That's where ABC Mouse comes in handy. But we also have this as a playroom, so they have stuff to do. That way we can really like dig in deep with the older kids, and then shift gears and do like light little workbooks with the younger ones. We just don't do too much heavy stuff like that with them because they don't need it. They learn by playing. Got a big bookshelf with tons of books on it. And over here is where most of our supplies are. We've got some art stuff at the top. We've got like different bins with, you see, there's markers, colored pencils, there's crayons and regular pencils, art stuff. In here are my books, so different teacher guides. Here is an arts and crafts project book. I have my Fruit of the Spirit study book, a journal, I don't know, the teacher guide books for one of the curriculums we use. We have their prayer journals. This is where I also keep their scripture handwriting books. We've got these that our friends made, little workbooks for the preschool kids, little books to learn from and like these kind of things. Then we've got nature and foraging. These are all like math workbooks, and this is all about money. And then here's math manipulatives. Down here we have some of our nicer books like encyclopedias, dictionary. These are really cool. Our Tuttle Twin books. We've got the math stuff there, and then the girls' bins go there. The girls each have their own bin like this that has their books that they get out every day, and it just helps keep things organized. They can get their stuff out, they can put it away, and everybody's stuff stays together because they're all not all doing different things, but kind of per grade level, right? This is one of their handwriting books. It's a scripture workbook. So they learn and memorize a verse, and they write it to practice their handwriting.
It's hard
How you doing,
to
Lainey?
memorize it. Good. I'm drawing because I already know it.
Elena has the neatest handwriting in the world. Jude is doing great and working on it, and I love how cute and eclectic it is. And Adeline is drawing roses on hers. Let me see, Addie. Okay, as far as curriculum goes, we're like blending a ton of different things. I'm gonna be honest, up until like 7 and 8, the bulk of their learning comes through play and doing. So imaginative play, exploring outside, playing with siblings, like getting themselves food, just life, basically. Kids learn through doing, through touching and exploring and experimenting. So we do heavy, like that kind of destructured learning, which I love, they love. Because once they learn how to read, it's like that. They take off and they can learn anything at that point. Once you can read, you can pretty much run the world. Okay, so then for like their language arts, we are using the Good and Beautiful, and this covers like reading, writing, handwriting. We have their math, but right now we're doing master books for math. The reason I went with that is because these workbooks are a little bit easier for them to do independently, and because there are 4 of them doing it at any given time, it's easier for me to be able to pop in and help where needed, but to kind of like be able to give like Adeline's them pages and just let them do. The Good and the Beautiful one I think is a little bit more hands-on, which is great for days that John can help. He can kind of get in there and use the manipulatives and like help me help them. We can tag team that. But when I'm teaching all of them solo, we kind of bounce back and forth. So they have handwriting books that they work on while I'm like teaching Adeline from her big book. While we're going over her sight words and her stuff in her language arts book, the other girls are working on their handwriting, and then we'll flip flop. Adeline will work on her handwriting and I'll do theirs with them. Tyler and Elena are doing the same book and Jude is doing a different one. So I kind of just pop back and forth as I need to and give them, you know, like easy, busy work in between, whether it's math, handwriting, or reading. And then for like science and history and those kinds of things, we do, we have Gather Round still. It's a unit study. We were gonna all do that entire curriculum last year, but I found that the kids were getting a little bit bored because I wasn't able to like really pour into the lessons with the creative, all kinds of crafts and different things. And I think that if you can do that, it's amazing. You can teach all your kids the same exact thing at the same time on different levels, but they really like workbooks, and it just didn't have that much for them to sit and write and do. And my kids, again, learn by doing, and they love that. So when we switched and they had more like things that they could just sit and figure out and do and problem solve it and put their hands to, we found that they were way happier doing that, and it's not so bad to like hop back and forth with different books for the kids. So we still use those for unit studies, which are like topical studies. So like there's oceans or North America, or there's like the body, the human body. So those are really good to kind of dive into specific topics with them all and teach them those kinds of things. But we have found that this combo of kind of mixing it up, giving them a lot to actually do with their hands and their minds instead of just listening, is like golden for right now. I'm sure it'll change a bunch of times, and that's cool. We have been like super open to just like letting them, like making sure they're getting a lot of different opportunities to learn, but letting them lead with what they're interested in. And I think kids thrive, at least ours do, thrive in that environment where they can like dive deep in the things that they love to do and the things they love to learn about. So that's kind of what we do for homeschool right now. Let us know in the comments what you do to school your kids, even if you don't homeschool them. Like when they're home, are you doing things to help them learn and to help foster creativity? We want to hear your ideas too, because I'm always looking for more ways to get these kids' brains exercising and learning and growing.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of our videos, click follow, follow again, and then tap see first to make sure you stay up to date on what's going on with our family.